I am making a difference.
I'm making a
I'm
difference.
making a difference.
I am making a difference.
I'm making a difference.
I'm making a difference.
Je fais bouger les choses.
I am making a difference.
My name is Zoë Gross. I grew up in Beresford, Manitoba, and I'm 25 years old. I'm making a difference by taking what I've learned here in Manitoba and applying it to my work overseas, and then also, I think importantly, by taking what I've learned overseas and then also applying it to my work here in Manitoba. This past year, I spent about 8 months working and living in Kenya, mostly in Nairobi. I was working with a national women's organization, which does a lot of work with socioeconomic status of women, opportunities for income generation, also a lot of work around the constitutional vote that happened in Kenya last year. And so that was a really neat experience because I was able to take what I learned in my degree in women's studies, in conflict resolution studies, to try to figure out ways to support women in Kenya, but also learning a lot about issues that are important to Kenyan women, that they're the same issues that are really important to women here in Manitoba, to women in Canada, and that our concerns are essentially the same and that we need to work together and support each other in those endeavors. I found one of the biggest things for me was just working with local women in Kenya, particularly in rural Kenya, was just them knowing that people outside of Kenya, people that they see, that they maybe see on TV, but they don't really think, people in the West don't really know anything about Kenya, they don't even know that Kenya exists. Just making that connection, I think for me was one of the biggest things. I think my studies at the University of Winnipeg are really important because academics, the connection between academics and practical work is really an essential connection, and that they inform each other. So what you do in practice can change what happens in academics, and what you think, what you study, what you research in academics changes what you do in practice. So the other day my sister told me that someone had asked her, why are international development issues important to you? And her response is, well, why aren't they important to you? Why wouldn't they be important to somebody or to me? And so I think one of the things that people don't realize about international development as opposed to community or local development is that the issues are really intimately connected and that our world is so connected in so many different ways. And so just because you are working in the inner city of Winnipeg doesn't mean that those issues are any different in the slums or ghettos of Nairobi, for example. Well, I think just start small, but get to know what the bigger issues are. I think if you're only able to, do an event, create a little bit of awareness, put on a table at your high school, like a table with information, different things like that, it doesn't mean that you can't sort of expand your own knowledge and the people around you. The more that you learn, the more that you know, and the more that you share means that you can make ultimately a bigger impact. I'm Zoë Gross and I'm making a difference.